Well, Issa Gusau joins us now. He's the special advisor on communication to Borno State Governor. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much.
Well, we heard the senator there saying that, look, 3 local governments are still very well under the control of Boko Haram, even though many will say, look, not exactly sure. But from your perspective, is that correct?
Well, I think the issue is about understanding what occupation even means, really. Perhaps, like Governor Shetima was saying the other time, the senator was very much emotional, which is understandable. It goes to show his passion for the people and things like that. Look, what happened in the past was that Boko Haram attacked territories, they hoist their flag, imposed taxes, put in place someone in charge of the government as an Amir, and then they declare that as a caliphate. And then the ultimate goal of Boko Haram is actually not the killings that we see. The ultimate ambition of the Boko Haram is to control governments. So that in the final analysis, if they have governments in various local government areas, they look forward to taking over, the whole of Borno State, and then Nigeria at large. This is the ultimate objective. What Governor Kashi Shetima is saying, which is true, is that that is no longer in place. So people are mistaking attacks for occupation. This occupation, like I said earlier, it has to do with the sovereign integrity of the country. It's like having a government within 2 governments within the state. So that is no longer in place. If you remember, on 24th of October 2015, the federal government sent a delegation to Borno State led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. I think channels reported it. Before the SGF, as at that time, 2 local government areas were actually being controlled by insurgents, Abadan and Moba. They had governments in place with their flags in place. And Governor Shetima said it before the SGF, that look, Honorable SGF, these Boko Haram members were still in control of 2 local government areas. That goes to tell you that Shetima is not the kind of person that would deliberately hide his sickness. Because when you keep your sickness, you die in silence. So I think the issue is about understanding the difference between occupation and attacks.
In other words, the senator does not understand the difference between occupation.
Well, I wouldn't say he doesn't understand, but I think he probably didn't get it well. That's the truth of the matter.
He was trying to be specific. That's why it would be very hard for anyone to see it your way. He said Boko Haram is present in other local governments, but they're fully in charge in 3 of these local governments. So it would mean as if
they have government there.
He understood the import of what he was saying.
Yeah.
You find Boko Haram in other parts of these local government areas, but for 3 of them, they're fully in charge.
No, that's not true. That's what I just said. Look, this is a very serious issue to the military and even the international community. When you say that insurgents control territories, they have government in place. It used to be in place in the past. In fact, in the past, they had 20 local government areas. They had governments, they imposed taxes, they administered territories, they declared places as caliphate in 20 local government areas.
Was Senator...
But that is not...
sorry to cut you there. Was Senator Gabai a former commissioner in Borno?
Yeah, he was a commissioner for local government areas.
So for local government.
Yes,
so he understood local government administration.
Well,
so
I want
when
to
he's
believe
talking about local government.
No, you see, I want to believe that he probably didn't have the right information. This is my belief, because like I said, in October, 24th of October, Governor Shetima was the one who said it before the SGF. And even the media aide to the president, what do you call him, Garbashi, who was there when the governor said
October
24th.
2014.
Yeah, 2015, after Buhari came on board. The governor said it without any prompting that, look, the military had done a very good job. As at the time Buhari came, about 17 local government areas were being controlled by the Boko Haram. And the military succeeded in liberating 15 out of 17. And 2 were still up there, and the governor said it. So that goes to tell you...
What time were these 2 taken back? Because we still remember that as of December, when we interviewed the Minister for Information, he talked about 1 or 2 local governments. This was towards the end of, I think it was even December 31st. He said that 1 or 2 local governments were still under the control of Boko Haram at that time.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
So when did they take them? When did they take those local governments back? When did the Nigerian government take it
Well,
back?
I wouldn't know. They have been in operation. The operation is still ongoing. What we know is that I think between early January, there were serious assaults, by the military, and it's still going on every day. But we have Security Council meetings every now and then. Even yesterday, the governor had a Security Council meetings. They have meetings every month to review situations. And the security update that the governor has, as at the time he spoke 2 days ago, was the fact that those 2 local governments that he mentioned when the SGF came were liberated. Look, we will be very stupid as a government to hide our sickness. We'll be very stupid because you will die in silence.
Well, there are areas where people are afraid to go to.
No, that is true.
The areas where people are still afraid to go to, even those local governments that have been liberated, people are still afraid to go and settle back.
No, it's true.
In those places.
No, it's true. Only a fool will tell you that Borno is completely safe. It's not true. The fact of the matter is that, like the senator said, there are places where we have security threats, a lot of places. And even some of the liberated areas, people are naturally afraid because there are no human occupation. For instance, if you travel from Maiduguri up to Bama, nobody lives there. You see isolated houses, reconstruction works are taking place, the state government is already doing reconstruction work, but people are not there. And that's why the Minister of Interior, if you remember, he was in Borno the last time, he was talking about bringing back civil authorities, because unless you bring back the police, people will not live there. And so long as the police is not there, Boko Haram will continue to move around, because they move around.
So it's true what they say that Kalabalge, Eastern Bama, and Southern Dikwa are not safe, and they're not in control of...
No. You see, let's not mix two things. There's a difference between control, like I said, and the issue of safety. The issue of control, which is very fundamental that I'm saying, is the issue of Boko Haram having government in place. That is no longer in place across the entire country. And that is a very serious issue to the military. Because it's like there's a secession. There are governments in place. The sovereignty of the country is in doubt. That is no longer in place.
But these 3 local governments are active battlegrounds.
Yeah, they could be. They could be. There are a lot of places where Boko Haram...
they are.
Yeah, I don't have any doubt about that. You see, Boko Haram, with one gun, one terrorist can hold an entire community into ransom. Look, one terrorist, about less than 10 terrorists held Mumbai, a city of 20 million people, for 4 days, to a standstill. One terrorist held Chicago. Look,
are we justifying them?
No, we are not justifying it, but I'm just telling you the extent of threats that a terrorist can cause. Nobody is saying that Borno is safe. I will tell you myself, like the governor has always said it, that many communities are still not safe. And the reason, like I said, is because there are no human occupation. There are no civil authorities back on this axis. And that's why the concern now is for the Ministry of Interior to deploy civil authorities, take the police there, take the immigration to their duty posts, and take the customs back.
So if we say that there are no occupation, I mean, we must know that this Boko Haram people, they don't live in thin air. They come from somewhere to attack these communities.
Yeah.
And that's why certain areas are not safe. Yeah. Could it be that they might not be controlling entire local governments, but they have their presence in certain, maybe
that one is true.
Small portions of local government areas, and makes those local government areas inhabitable for other people?
Boko Haram could have presence anywhere. That one is clear. Nobody is doubting that. They have presence and they are mobile. But what we are trying to say, which is the basis of this whole debate, is the fact that they no longer control territories the way they used to.
What we're trying to extrapolate, because when I know that throughout the papers this morning, what we did hear the president say is that Boko Haram is not in control of any territory. Yeah. But when you find a senator who is from there and says, Boko Haram controls 3 local governments, then we have to try and see what the meaning is in all of this statement. Certain areas are not safe. Could it be also that, because they live in these local government areas, they made them inhabitable for other people, and so would seem to be in control by extension? Those are the kind of meanings that people might read into them, and we need to be able to clarify some of these things.
No, you see, I keep saying that we must not mix two things. And that is very important to the military and to any government. The fact that Boko Haram used to have governments in place, they no longer have them. But the issue is that they still pose so much threat. No doubt about it. Because they move around. Of course, in the past, they had territories, they were living there, there were no-go areas. Look, as we speak
But
now...
there are still no-go areas,
No.
and they're still living in some places.
There are. Because like I said, the roads are not safe. People are afraid to move because there are no human occupation. Like I said earlier, when you travel from Maiduguri up to Bama, you don't see human beings there. When the Minister of Information came, we went with him with journalists. We traveled there.
In a convoy.
But we traveled there in convoy. But the truth of the matter is that we need civil authorities to be back to these communities so that people will go back. As we speak, we have internally displaced persons in 13 local government areas. Dikwa, including Dikwa, we have 52,000 people living in Dikwa. In the past, nobody would attempt to be in Dikwa because Boko Haram was fully in control of Dikwa. They had their flag there, they had their army there. You either follow their set of rules or they kill you. So that is no longer, the case. But they still pose a lot of threat. And
they're not in southern Dikwa?
No, I don't. You see, it depends on the extent you are talking about. What I keep saying is that they do not have government in place, but they are mobile. They are mobile and they still pose threats.